Good afternoon and welcome to the New York Athletic Club. My name is Matthew Sine. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame. I'd like to welcome all of you to the Asa Bushnell Cup Presentation. This will be the 11th time that we've been able to do this here in New York City after another outstanding Ivy League football season. So to get us all started, I'd like to welcome up the President and CEO of the National Football Foundation. He's a former commissioner of the Metro Southwest and Big 12. He also ran the National Finals Rodeo before he came to us at the National Football Foundation. President and CEO Steve Hatchell.
Thank you, Matthew. It's good to see all of you, and on behalf of our chairman, Archie Manning, and our board of directors of the National Football Foundation, we say greetings to all of you, and thank you so much for being here. As Matthew mentioned, this is the 11th year that we've been blessed with the opportunity to do this with the Ivy League. And we view this as extremely important for the overall structure of what happens in football, and we love this. Usually it's the kickoff event on the week that we have our annual awards dinner. This past year, for a whole lot of reasons, we had that dinner in Las Vegas, so we have this event the week after our event. But we're thrilled to have this opportunity and to be able to work with Robin and her staff. This is the NYAC, and you wonder why we're here. This is the official home of the William B. Campbell Trophy, who played and coached at Columbia and went on to be known as the coach of Silicon Valley, and a lot more about that. But a great friend and a great benefactor of the Football Foundation, so that's why we love being here. Tonight we will have that function here, and the 33rd recipient of the William B. Campbell Trophy is Iowa State's Charlie Kohler, and he will be at our event tonight. Charlie graduated in a short span of time, 399 in mechanical engineering, was a two-time first-team All-American, so wonderful tribute to what can happen in football. I'm very proud of him. Before we get started, we'd like to give a thank you, a very warm thank you to very important people. Regina Conroy Keller, who is the president of the NYAC, who opened a lot of doors for us, and to Dave Shakespeare, the governor emeritus of the New York Athletic Club. He's been a warrior for us in having all of our activities here at the NYAC for a long time. And personally, a special thank you to Hillary Jeffries, who's the Director of Special Events at the Football Foundation, to Phil Marwell, our Director of Communications, and to Matthew Sine, our Chief Operating Officer. The connections between the Ivy League and the NFF run deep, and this event has done a marvelous job in strengthening those relationships. Next year, the National Football Foundation will be 75 years old. So when we talk about a relationship that goes back, it goes back at least 75 years, and we're very proud of that history. I'd like to thank the Ivy League presidents, the athletic directors, especially Executive Director Robin Harris, for her leadership and most of all for her friendship. The National Football Foundation shares many ties to the Ivy League, from our shared belief in the scholar athlete and that ideal and the challenges that we have in this day and time, to our mission that centers on building tomorrow's leaders through the sport of football. And our program, Future for Football, is one of the big missions that we have out there on all 50 states, making sure that we have a great future for the sport of football. We also share many of the same leaders, including there are 50 all-time National Football Foundation scholar athletes from the Ivy League. There are 138 members from the Ivy League in the College Football Hall of Fame. And the 5 Ivy League alumni that currently serve on our board of directors do so with great leadership, great vision, and wonderful support. The NFF board of directors, including the ones that we've mentioned before, include Jack Ford, Yale defensive back, who is here today, a marvelous friend, oversees the committee that selects the scholar athletes every year, which is an enormous task because of the numbers that are sent our way. And we'd also like to thank the 8 head football coaches of the Ivy League. Wonderful working with all of them. And finally, to the Ivy League, I'd like to extend a congratulations to all of you scholar athletes and players that are here today. You have a lot to be proud of. Your resumes are wonderful, and it's been a lot of fun watching you, and we get to listen to Jack talk about you on Friday night games on ESPN2, so it's been a lot of fun. Today's MC is very special for us, along with Jack. He is currently the chairman and CEO of Bruin Sports Capital, and he's one of the most influential people in all of sport. He's worn a lot of hats. Head of IMG, NASCAR, before he had success in the business world, which he has and enjoys right now because of great leadership. He played offensive tackle at Brown and captained the Bears' 1988 football team, earning all Ivy League honors. He is a charter member of ours at the National Football Foundation of the NFF Leadership Hall of Fame, and he co-chairs one of the most important missions for us, that of Future for Football, which we do with every aspect of football in the country, from the NFL down through Pop Warner. George is a 12-year veteran of the NFF Board of Directors, and we are honored to always have him with us. And so today, I'd like to turn the program over to one of the great people of the National Football Foundation and alum of the Ivy League, Mr. George Pine.
Thank you, Steve. It's great to be here. And for those of you someday, we had our banquet for the NFF Hall last week in Las Vegas, and it was awesome. We put in 2 classes of Hall of Famers, and it was quite an experience. It was the most attended event in the NFF history, and that was large part to Steve and his team. So look, very shortly we're going to hear from Robin Harris, the Executive Director of the Ivy League, who will announce the 2021 Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. We're going to hear from the recipients themselves and their coaches. You know, as Steve mentioned, the National Football Foundation and the Ivy League share similar missions, and having strong ties to both organizations makes today extra special for me. Since 2009, I've had the privilege of serving on the National Football Foundation Board of Directors, and as Steve said, I was a Brown football player. And you know, it's great to be here. Of some of these coaches now, I'm like an old shoe. I've been doing this for a while, but you know, so many of the coaches in front of me, I didn't want to pick out 1 or 2 because there are more than 2 who are really legendary coaches, have done amazing things. And as a player, my son played at Brown, graduated from Brown. EJ was a teammate with my son, but I just want to recognize the coaches here, just outstanding men and leaders and very, very good football coaches. So it's great to see you guys, and thank you on behalf of everyone for all that you do. You know, my roots as an Ivy League football player have always been special, a special point of pride to me. And I think the young men in the front row and any other Ivy League graduate would agree that we're all better off for having been Ivy League football players. As an Ivy League football player, you learn preparation is just as important as the game itself. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. And most importantly, being part of something greater than oneself is so very special. You also learn the imperatives of time management and how to simultaneously succeed at the highest level in the classroom and on the field. You know, people forget these kids are going to school with the smartest people in the world and competing every day in the classroom and then having to go out and play Division I athletics. It's really something we can all be proud of. And I know that you all feel, as I do, that you're a much better person because of it. This year's list of finalists embody these lessons, and we are thrilled to hold them out as examples of the best the Ivy League has to honor. So congratulations to each and one of you for being here today. We take great pride in recognizing you as the Ivy League's very best. I have to take a little bit of a pause here. I've been doing this, I think, for 10 or 11 years. I've only had 2 Brown football players ever nominated. And so it's very special for me to have E.J. Perry here from Brown University, a great kid. I'm going to tell one little story on E.J. E.J. was an intern at Bruin Capital. And I said, EJ, I really love the way you compete. He goes, well, I'm going to bring that competition to business, and he certainly did. So as a Brown Bear, we don't get to say this very often, EJ. We're quite proud of you. Before we move on to today's announcement, I'd like to ask Dave Shakespeare, Governor Emeritus of the New York Athletic Club and key liaison between the club and the National Football League Foundation, to make a few remarks. Dave?
Thank you, George. And on behalf of the officers, the governors, and membership of the New York Athletic Club, welcome everyone to this wonderful event today. First, to the finalists, to even be considered and to be here is quite a statement in and of itself. So it's quite an honor. So congratulations to all the finalists. For over 150 years, the New York Athletic Club has had a very strong commitment to amateur athletics, to the Olympics, and also equally amount of time, over 150 years, to the Ivy League. So we at the club here feel that this is sort of a very natural association or kinship. So I want to thank the NFF, I want to thank the Ivies for selecting the club. We're very appreciative of that, and I hope we have a wonderful event. I know we will. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. It's now my honor to introduce Ivy League Executive Director Robin Harris, who will reveal the names of the 2021 recipients of the Asa S. Bushnell Cup as the league's Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Robin is in her 13th year as Executive Director, which I can't believe it's 13 years, and in that time she's successfully guided the league back to the forefront of intercollegiate athletics. From her collaboration with the Big Ten on concussion research, to groundbreaking sponsorship and television agreements, including an incredible deal with ESPN, the Ivy League has experienced unprecedented growth under Robin's watch, and she's really done a fantastic job. A big fan of Ivy League football. Robin, thanks for being here.
Thank you, George, and thank you for continuing to be such a terrific ambassador for the Ivy League and a representative of what our model brings. As a former student athlete who has gone on to lifelong success, you exemplify our unrivaled experience. So thank you. And I too can't believe it's been 13 years. I was 20 when I started. I want to welcome everyone who's here with us today. It's wonderful to see another packed room. We weren't sure what a different time frame and venue would bring, and you all are not disappointing. A quick note, I want to note that we do have 3 of our 4 amazing finalists with us today. Jeremiah Tyler was unable to travel to New York City today out of an abundance of caution due to COVID protocols. So we wish Jeremiah all the best, and we wish he could be with us here today in person. He is watching, I believe, live via Zoom technology. So we're thrilled that he can be with us in absolute spirit, and we have his family with us in person instead. So welcome. I also have a few thank yous. I want to thank the NFF, and in particular Steve Hatchell, Matthew Sine, and Phil Marwell for continuing to host this amazing event for the Ivy League. Particularly after you conducted what your largest NFF dinner last week in Las Vegas. We appreciate the attention and your support for the Ivy League. And I have, over the years, really come to appreciate our shared values in sportsmanship, leadership, athletic, and academic excellence. So thank you again for providing us this amazing opportunity to feature Ivy League football. I also want to thank the New York Athletic Club, and in particular David Shakespeare, for your wonderful hospitality and literally rolling out the red carpet for us today. And it's wonderful, as always, to see all of you here, our athletic directors, former Bushnell Cup winners, and so many distinguished alumni and friends. Thank you for making the time to be here today. And to our football coaches, you've done an amazing job. This past year brought so much need for resiliency and you met the challenge with your teams, having tremendous success and excitement around the return to competition. The Ivy League, and in particular football this year, played a significant role in bringing a renewed sense of community to our campuses as we witnessed packed stadiums with tens of thousands, 20,000, 50,000 people attending Ivy League football games and even more watching on ESPN. Thank you for your leadership and your dedication as you continue to lead our future in your student athletes. And I also want to give a special congratulations to our Ivy League co-champions in Dartmouth and Princeton, and to our Ivy League Coach of the Year, Buddy Tevens. I also would like to congratulate Ivy League Rookie of the Year from Columbia, Joe Green. The Ivy League is a very special conference. We truly offer an unrivaled experience in college athletics. We provide world-class academics, unmatched campus opportunities, a pathway to lifelong success, and our student athletes experience consistent athletic success throughout their time in the Ivy League. For all of us here today and throughout the world, the pandemic brought great disruption to our lives. We also experienced the loss of competition and the sense of community that sports bring to us. And yet, this season reaffirmed the importance of Ivy League sports to our campus communities, to our administrators, to our coaches, to our alumni, to our fans, and most importantly, to our student athletes. Thank you to everyone who was involved in ensuring we could have an incredible football season with tremendous success. Now, to the reason we are really here today. We have the honor of celebrating our student athletes who embody the spirit and the success of the Ivy League model and truly represent the unrivaled experience that we provide. You have each prepared, you have worked hard, and you have earned the right to be here and to etch your names into the storied tradition of Ivy League football. First, let's meet our Defensive Player of the Year nominees, finalists. Please turn your attention to the video screen.
A two-time unanimous first-team All-Ivy selection, Princeton's Jeremiah Tyler finished the season with 58 tackles, including 7 for loss. The Detroit, Michigan product anchored the Tigers' defense, which ranked 3rd in the nation in rush defense and 8th in total defense.
Ball pops loose, Tigers have it. Eddie Tillman fumbles, Jeremiah Tyler picks it up at around the 30 and rumbles in.
Now, Tyler helped lead Princeton to its 4th Ivy title in its last 8 seasons. This is the 2nd time that Tyler has been named a finalist for the Bushnell Cup, as he was the runner-up in 2019. Jordan Hill registered the 3rd most tackles in the Ivy League this season with 72. The Silver Spring, Maryland native also registered 5.5 tackles for loss, on his way to garnering first-team All-Ivy League honors for the 2nd time in his career. The Harvard captain led the Harvard Crimson defensive unit, which ranked 1st in the nation in rush defense, allowing under 65 yards a game. Now, the Crimson defense also ranked 7th nationally in scoring defense, permitting an average of just under 15 points a game.
Let's give them a round of applause. Not only are these 2 finalists examples of the high level of play that occurs on the football field, but off the gridiron, they are also involved in other activities. Jordan Hill is a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, a community outreach and leadership development centered organization. Jordan has also been involved with many service groups in Cambridge, including serving as a teacher and a mentor to high-achieving, disadvantaged Cambridge youth through the Crimson Summer Academy. Jeremiah Tyler has been extensively involved in community service and volunteer work. He has aspirations to play in the NFL, and his long-term goal is to attend law school. Jeremiah hopes to start organizations intended to help underprivileged youth. Let's give another round of applause for our defensive finalists. Now, let's meet our Offensive Player of the Year finalists. Please turn your attention back to the video screens.
Derek Keller of Dartmouth led the Ivy League and ranked second in the nation with a completion percentage over 70%. He also ranked fourth nationally in passing efficiency.
Play action, Kyler takes a shot and connects with Painter Richards Baker.
The Signal Caller finished the season just shy of 2,000 yards passing and threw just one interception on 239 passing attempts. The DeKalb, Illinois native helped lead the Big Green to its Ivy League leading 20th Ivy title on its way to garnering second team All-Ivy honors. A two-time first-team All-Ivy selection, E.J. Perry threw for over 3,000 yards and 23 touchdowns, in addition to rushing for over 400 yards and 7 touchdowns this season. The Andover, Massachusetts native ranked third in the nation in completions per game, 7th in completion percentage, 8th in passing yards per game and total offense, and 9th in points responsible for. Perry was a Bushnell Cup finalist back in 2019 after setting a single-season Ivy League record with 3,678 yards of total offense.
And a few off-the-field notes for these two finalists. EJ was instrumental in continuing Brown's 15-year bench press cancer tradition and is a big part of the Bears' relationship with Fox Point Elementary School and neighborhood. And Derek intends to pursue a Master of Business Administration after graduation. Let's have another round of applause for our Offensive Player of the Year finalists. And now, the announcements of the 2021 Asa S. Bushnell Cup winners. First, our Defensive Player of the Year. The 2021 Defensive Player of the Year is Jeremiah Tyler for Princeton University. Coach Serace, I invite you to come up on the dais, and we will hear from Jeremiah shortly. And the 2021 Offensive Player of the Year, E.J. Perry from Brown University. EJ and Coach Perry, please come up and join us on the dais. Congratulations to Jeremiah and his parents and to EJ for your outstanding seasons. You are joining an illustrious group of men who have received this award, and we know you will be fantastic representatives of the Ivy League and this select group. And Derek and Jordan, congratulations on your amazing seasons. We look forward to watching you and seeing what you achieve in the future. Thank you to everyone for your support and your passion for Ivy League football, and I will turn the program back over to George. Thank you.
Thanks, Robin. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Princeton head football coach, Bob Serace, who will say a few words about Jeremiah Tyler, our 2021 Bushnell Cup Defensive Player of the Year. As a Princeton graduate himself, Bob Serace has guided his alma mater to 4 Ivy League titles in 8 seasons. I'd say that's pretty good. He led the Tigers to a 9-1 record this season. Coach?
Thank you, George. And George talking about EJ being such a competitor, but I played against George, and he was one heck of a football player and competitor himself. And I was in the dinosaur ages, but just want to say I'm grateful. I know Robin's up there, all the things you and your staff and the athletic departments did to bring us back to play and to do events like this. And I know the work that goes into this, and to do it at such a prestigious club. It's amazing to partner with Steve Hatchell and the NFF. It's what it's all about. My dad started a chapter of that in Southern New Jersey, and it's so important to recognize these amazing athletes who happen to be incredible students as well across the country, and so many of them wind up playing for the coaches in our great league. Jordan and Derek and EJ, it's just a wonderful moment being here and being nominated. And EJ, I've known you since you're really young, and everything George said is correct, coming from Cousins Camp and everything else that way. And just grateful to have the Tyler family here. When I say family, like, we're part of each other's family, and Mr. Tyler and I text a lot, and just enjoy each other's company, and truly a part of my family. And you sent me an amazing son. I wish he could be here, and it's part of the past year, right? We've had these different bumps in the road where not everything went smooth that way. And I'm not a big statistics. I usually don't do this, but I want to talk about two statistics with JT. He's one of two players in Princeton history to ever have 3 championship rings, or he'll get a 3rd championship ring this spring that way. And in his 4 years, he played all 40 games, was a significant player in those 40 games. He won 35 of them. We won 35 of them. That's more wins than any other player in the Ivy League era that way. And a big part of it is his leadership. At the end of practice, guys go in and shower and everything else. And I usually stay at the end, say hi to a few people. I'm usually there with 1 or 2 coaches. Every day, and JT's the best player on our team. He's captain, he's leader and everything else. He stayed out with young players and helped them bring in the cones or the ball bags or all those things that maybe, when an NFL scout was at practice wouldn't see because they were gone. But as a coach, you notice. And it's really, truly his character, how he was raised as a young man, and how he's grown at Princeton. And it's really meaningful because the type of person he is and the type of leader he's been for our team. So I know he's not here. You're somewhere in quarantine, JT, but I love you and can't wait to see you when you're out. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. The 2021 Bushnell Cup Player of the Year recipient, Jeremiah Tyler, is the 13th Bushnell Cup winner from Princeton, joining the likes of Jason Garrett, Keith Elias, John Lovett. Jeremiah, and the Zoom technology is I'm told, with us. So Jeremiah, do you have a few words you want to share with the crowd? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. First of all, I just want to thank God for this opportunity, for blessing me and putting me in this position to attend such a prestigious university like Princeton University. And my heart's pumping right now, I'm sorry, but I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to play football at such a great school. And I want to give a special thanks to the Ivy League committee for working around the COVID and figuring everything out so us ball players can have a season, because that meant the world to us. And also I'd like to give a thanks to my parents, my beautiful parents in the front row. I love you guys so much. You've done everything for me. All the sacrifices and consistent effort that you made throughout my entire years, through all of my endeavors, it genuinely, it means the world to me, and I thank you so much. And even now, like, look at you, you're still in New York right now, and I'm not even there. Like, that just speaks volumes about your support, and I love y'all for that. And to the PVC, to the PFA, you guys, you've done a tremendous job of keeping our football team alive and doing everything, supporting the team around the team, I guess, in a way. And I thank you guys so much for that. And to coach the race, Coach Burbitt, Coach Mendenhall, I see you right there. You can't see me though, but I see you. thank you so much for taking a chance on a kid from Detroit. And it means so much for a young African-American gentleman to be a part of such a brotherhood. And when all you know from the city of Detroit is, violence, and it's just great to be a part of something bigger than that. And I thank God for having you guys being placed in my life, because I couldn't have done this without you. And to my brothers who are there, DeLon, Matthew, Trevor, I love y'all. I love y'all so much, and it starts with us. And I appreciate y'all for taking this past year off and us grinding through it, going through the highs and lows. It means the world to me that y'all are there supporting me right now. And congrats to EJ. You're a dog. I appreciate you, bud, and I'm proud of you, baby. And go Tigers. I appreciate you.
It's now my pleasure to introduce head football coach at Brown, James Perry, who will offer a few words about the 2021 Bushnell Cup Offensive Player of the Year, E.J. Perry. James earned the 1999 Bushnell Cup recipient as the quarterback at Brown at his alma mater. Now they're going to have to duke it out as time goes by, who was better in the Perry family, but we're going to leave it to them. James, come on up. Congratulations.
I will clear that up. I'm a distant second. So, thank you very much, George, Robin. This is quite an event, quite a venue. Really appreciate being here in person, like everybody else, to echo their sentiment. Just being back playing, being around people. It's really what football is all about. This is a great expression of that. Congratulations to Princeton and Dartmouth for the championship season. And today, congratulations to the finalists for the award, Jordan and Derek. Congratulations. Two great examples of what Ivy League football is all about. This is Division I football, and that's how it's played. And whether it's watching Derek on film, a remarkable player, or Jordan, really, really terrific kids who play the game at the highest level. We all missed out, having known Jeremiah personally, my time at Princeton. He would have lit this room up. The Zoom does not do it justice. I was kind of smiling to myself over there, but still darn good, Jeremiah, wherever you are. Quickly, I do want to just bring some context to EJ and what he's done on the field. And I did want to kind of use a little bit of statistics, because he's had a record-breaking 2 seasons in the league and at Brown, and some of these numbers are like video game numbers. And one thing that I thought was interesting is the least amount of yards he had was 290. So the least amount he accounted for. This guy was remarkably consistent. We did everything with him, and he took a lot of hits, and he loves football. Every single week he would come out ready to play. Every single week he would come out ready to practice, no matter what the outcome was of the previous week. Heck, even dating back to the first day on campus a couple years ago in August. Just a remarkably intense individual, practiced hard, played hard, and no matter what we did with him, he always wanted to do more. More for the team, more to help us win, more for the program, and things that I'm really, really proud of. So, and then also just to bring a little bit of light, he is my nephew. From a personal note, a huge thank you to my brother, EJ, his dad, and my sister-in-law, Kathleen. So, for sending him to Brown, trusting Brown University to educate him, and trusting our football program to try to make him the best he could be. Also a big thanks to my mom, who's watching at home, for the nudge, maybe a little extra nudge, got him there at home and made that happen. And I know everybody's really proud of him. I know my dad is looking down from above, very proud to have me here with him. What a really special moment. And I know he will be a great representative of Brown. I'm really proud. I love Brown. It means a ton to me. And anytime you see guys do well, it's super exciting. And when you get a chance to see your nephew do well, and in a couple weeks get his degree from what I believe is the best school in the country, it's really a special thing. So thank you to everyone who made today happen. Congrats to the other recipients, and congratulations, EJ.
2021 Bushnell Cup Offensive Player of the Year recipient, E.J. Perry, is the 5th Bushnell Cup winner from Brown, joining Sean Morey, head coach James Perry, Nick Hardigan, and Buddy Farman. E.J., love to hear your thoughts. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor to be able to receive this award, and I'd first like to congratulate the other finalists, and Derek is a tremendous player, and you know, we met this summer, and playing against you the last 2 seasons, it's been fun to watch you, and you know, he talks about the hits I took. Many of those were from Jordan and Jeremiah, so you know, I'm still recovering from some of those. Tremendous players, and the defensive level in this league is unbelievable, and you know, to play in this league was truly an honor, and you know, the league I think was the strongest it's ever been, and certainly very strong compared to 2019, and I think, you know, there was a lot of passion in what I saw and noticed, especially from our team, but across the league, was that when we weren't able to play in 2020, is so many guys were, you know, putting life on hold to come back, and it made for a great and really special 2021 year, and to have football back in athletics was unbelievable. I'd like to thank the National Football Foundation, the Ivy League, and all the people who make this special. I'd like to thank Brown University, which, you know, my teammates accepted me with open arms as a transfer. The coaching staff, you know, did an unbelievable job recruiting me. Like Coach Perry said, it was, you know, football's always been about family for me. I learned how to play in the backyard of my grandmother's yard with all of my uncles and my cousins, and to be able to play for my dad in high school was unbelievable, and then to continue it, to be able to play for my uncle and, you know, learn from him as well was awesome. And you know, we had a lot of fun keeping track of my brothers and my cousins' football games who played against each other in high school this year. So that was a nice family event. You know, I'd like to thank my mom and my dad, who, you know, have supported me throughout my entire athletic career. They've done so much for me in terms of bringing me everywhere, teaching me about everything, and just being unbelievable role models in who I should be and how I should conduct myself. I'd like to thank the entire Brown coaching staff who helped me so much throughout my 3 years here, and I'd like to thank the rest of my family and my teammates, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming here tonight and you know, making the Ivy League so special. Thank you.
Thank you, EJ. Let's give EJ and Jeremiah one more round of applause. Coaches, players, and athletic directors, please remain on the stage for photos in the trophy presentation and one-on-one interviews. For everybody else, on behalf of the National Football Foundation, the Ivy League, we'd like to thank you for your attendance in today's event. Copies of the official player release can be found in the back way. And before we leave, we'd like to have a season-long video they'd like to play for you. Thank you so much and have a great holiday. We're going to watch the video.
Over the middle, beautifully drawn up. Here goes John Volker. One man to beat. He has the seam and he has the touchdown.
From the UNH 13, Kyler, end zone, touchdown, Joe Kramer.
Keeps it, and the Bears defense guesses right, and picked up by the Bears. And this one could go the distance. Joe Shell takes it to the house. Touchdown, Brown.
Green throwing into the end zone. What a grab. Holy cow. Bryson Canny Long looking into the end zone. Is it caught? Flag on the play. Unbelievable catch by Ryan Fitton.
Malcolm finds space. He's gone. Isaiah Malcolm for the score. 40 yards for the touchdown.
Back to receive this one. Looking for space. He's got an opening. Will Allen. He is beating the Georgetown defense single-handedly. And that is a special teams touchdown.
Wraps up. Floats is looking for the home run again. And it is picked off. Reading it the whole way. Isaiah Johnson. And Isaiah Johnson is gone for the touchdown. The whole way, throws it up, and it is caught! Touchdown, Harvard!
Happy holidays, thank you.